Hey guys, it's Sam and welcome back to a new video on my channel. Today I am going to be showing you how to make a little box kind of house for your hamster. So let's just get right into it. So the things you're going to need are going to be a box of any size. So I'm just going to use this box that you can open up like so, but you can use any box that you want. It doesn't need to be able to open up. It can be a small shoe box or a square kind of box, just any box that your hamster can use as a house, so it can't be too small, but a box. You're going to need scissors. You can have big scissors or small scissors. This is to cut holes in the box. I'll show you how to do that. I like using a mixture because sometimes it's hard to cut holes with big scissors, but sometimes it's easier to make holes, if you know what I mean. So I like to have a mixture of scissors. You're going to need some toilet roll or nesting. I have Carefresh and toilet roll to use. And lastly, you're going to need a willow stick. I'm just going to use this so I can tell where the house is. So I'm going to put it under the bedding. So I'm going to stick this in it so I know where the house is, and any toilet roll tubes or anything that you can use as a tunnel of your choice. So let's get right into it. So you're going to take your box and your scissors and you're going to want to make some holes in it. Now you can make these holes wherever you want. I put one on the top as it's going to be buried under, so this is how Gizmo's going to get in. And I'm also going to put a hole at the back here, and I'm going to put this tunnel on the back. So I'm going to show you how to make a hole in the box. So I find it easier to open up the box. Obviously if you have a shoe box or whatever, you can't, well, you can open up a shoe box, but a different type of box, it might be a bit harder to open. But I like to just take my scissors and I just jab it like this. And this just creates a hole to start off with. And now your hole can really just depend on the size of your hamster. So if you have a small hamster like a dwarf or a robo, you won't need to make the hole as big, but if you have a Syrian, you might need to make the hole a bit bigger. You don't want to make the hole too big, just enough for your hamster to fit in, but not small enough to make your hamster likely to get stuck. Because, well, you don't want your hamster to get stuck, but if it's too big, then it's more open and your hamster can't really nest in it as well. So since I'm using a toilet roll tube in this one, I'm going to keep measuring until I can actually fit the toilet roll tube in it. So I'm just going to keep on cutting until that works. You want to be careful if you're using like a toilet roll tube or whatever and you're trying to get the right size, that you don't cut it too big, because once you've cut something like a hole in a box, it's very hard to undo that hole. So I've made this one a tiny bit too small, so I'm just going to keep on cutting. And this is quite boring, so I'm just going to pause the video and I'll get back to you once I have the hole cut. Okay, so a little while later I have cut a hole in the box. This one is actually quite a bit bigger than my first hole, but this fits in. Now you want this hole to actually be a bit smaller than your toilet roll tube so that it's not that easy to slip out. But I've just inserted the toilet roll tube like this. It does squish it in a weird shape kind of, but Gizmo can still fit through it, so it's all good. you also want to make sure these edges aren't that jaggy. I mean, obviously you can't get rid of all the edges, but if you just sort of take your finger and push it in, this way your hamster isn't going to get scratched on it or anything. So now I'm just going to close the box up. And I think I'm going to put this, I'm just going to slot it here, I think. Just so I know whereabouts this is. So I'm going to make a little hole here and shove this stick in, and I'll be back with you then. Okay, so I've made a little hole. I just jabbed in my scissors and it made a perfectly nice sized hole. So I can just shove this in. And this way, it does move about a bit. The hole is a little bit too big. But if I put in this end, it's not as moving abouty. So I can just shove this in the bedding, and it's then easier to locate it. And again, I can just always take the stick out if it's getting annoying. So the last thing is just to add the bedding. So you can use any bedding you want. Avoid anything labeled fluff or anything like that. Bamboo, kind of anything that's... Yeah, just try to avoid anything labeled fluff or anything, because that's not safe for hamsters. It may be safe for other small rodents such as rats, but I'm really not sure, so don't take my advice. But yeah, definitely don't use anything labeled fluff or like that for hamsters, because it's really bad for their upper respiratory system, and they can actually end up getting infections. So yeah, you just want to start ripping up your toilet paper, or if you have Carefresh, you can just sprinkle it in. I'm going to actually use toilet paper for this because Gizmo doesn't tend to do the toilet on toilet paper, but he tends to do the toilet on Carefresh. So if I use toilet paper, he's less likely to do the toilet in this box, and then I'll have to throw it out. And that is the only kind of downside to making your own DIY things for your hamsters, is that if it's cardboard or anything and they do the toilet on it, you can't really clean it or anything, and you have to throw it out, sadly. But yeah, that is basically it. It's just a little cute nesting box that your small rodent or pet can use. I really hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to like and subscribe for more content like this. And I'll see you in my next one. Bye!